この速度感ちょうどいい。
まあむしゃむしゃしながら。Ah, fuck! Look, it's I guess it's like it's all fermented inside.
Oh. No problem.
Don't worry. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. You wanna open? Fuck. Dude, anyway, cheers.
Cheers. Right?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello there. So, hey John. So we spoke about your peyote experience last week. Then I heard you had experienced this ayahuasca thing. Wow, peyote and ayahuasca. I won't say it's the same thing, but you experienced ayahuasca, right? And that time, well, it's actually like kind of funny story. I don't know what you experienced, but just like when I came back to the house, it was. Well, I won't spoil anything, but John, tell me about this thing. Like, how did you start? What did you experience, and how did it end? Where you did it, or something like this? Could you explain that to us, please?
Well, yeah. So.
I think that was like 5 or 7 years ago. I think it was 2015 because I came back to London like 2015 in spring or June or something.
Yeah, exactly. Like so, yeah, that time I was in London with my friend and with my brother, everything. My friend went to South America to do a retreat, I think. With a peyote, not peyote, I mean like ayahuasca ceremony and everything. Then he was on a retreat for about I can't remember 1 or 2 months, I think, in South America, because I think he's like part South American as well. So I think he wanted
Which part, do you remember?
Next to Venezuela.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a Guaya. I can't remember the exact.
Alright.
Well, so basically he went there to do the retreat for about 1 or 2 months and came back. Then he's like, yo, yeah, you wanna try something out? I'm like, what? He's like, I got a bottle of ayahuasca.
How did he brought?
I don't know. I think
he brought from like South America, or he just like got.
I think he brought it through South America somehow. Wow. Then he said, okay, we'll try this kind of thing, and so we kind of like scheduled when we wanted to try and everything, and so he was like telling me, well, basically, well, in order to do that, you just need to cleanse yourself for a bit.
Okay.
Just to experience that and experience more like fully, because when you're not like.
What do you mean by cleanse? Like you drink water and you throw up and clean your stomach or something?
Well, what he told me was like it's good to like stay on a diet of like fruit.
Like eating vegetables or fruits or like non-meat kind of thing, is it?
He told me to at least have a diet of just fruit for 3 days.
Oh, okay.
And the water. That's it, nothing else.
Yeah.
No dairy products or animal products.
Well.
Yeah. So it was just fruit, not even vegetables, just fruit and water. You get it? So I kept kept to that. And like for 3 days, I
But
was
is
just
it has like some kind of like a shaman background or something? You learning about something because sounds like it's like a more
Oh.
you just want to get high or something like this.
no. I mean, he's I don't know. It's hard to pin him down in one sense because my friend, he's like, well, I mean, he's been living in that city for most of his life,
Okay.
but he's like, he's a very streetwise guy, so he knows. No, seriously, he knows how to like go around stuff in different places and everything. And it's like, I think at that time he was living in an abandoned kind of like a building.
Wow. Okay.
But because he is very, very like streetwise and clever, he knew how to like get electricity freely on the abandoned house and everything.
Okay.
But he knew how to unlock the code for that. So I don't know how he did it and everything. He was like he's very like he's really strange to get it. Like, because when I was hanging around him, he taught me a lot of things about in the back street and like how you can actually in this building maybe you can actually sneak into this building if you climb the wall from back there and everything because it's can you see the window there? It's not. You can tell that it's not been used for a while. And I'm like, well, how do you know all this kind of thing?
That's a street kid type.
Yeah, it's like really, really clever guy. So I was like very surprised to get it.
Yeah.
So, so I've met him in the temple. I don't know if I've spoken about it, but I used to go to like Hare Krishna temple in London, and he just happens to be there. But because in Hare Krishna temple they have this talk going on, I think each week about for newcomers and introduction kind of like a talk for people and everything. So we get into a group of like roughly around 7 to 10 people, and this one resident monk of that temple gives an introduction kind of talk to these newcomers and say this is what Hare Krishna is about and blah 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 everything. I happened to be there and just like I've been there at that time I think I've been there for about 1 or 2 months or something like that, because my friend kind of like introduced me to that place and it's like, oh, let's go then, because I was kind of like interested in alternative spirituality and like Hinduism or whatnot together, so I was like coming there and everything. And when they were giving out that kind of like introduction kind of talk there, and I was like, and that guy happened to be there, but because there was like so many different other people there, what made him stand out from the rest of them was that kind of like inquisitiveness. Meaning like he wasn't just like listening to what what the resident monk was telling him to do, and it's like but he was like, oh yeah, but I've heard about this and that, and then explain things, and it's like you can tell that guy has been like studying things and like probably experimenting things, and like he has kind of like background knowledge about certain things, and like and I think the resident monk didn't know how to answer back to certain things.
Oh really? Wow.
But I thought, oh, maybe this guy has something going on with him, and I'm starting to say. That's why kind of like later that after the talk I just spoke to him and saying, hey, are you interested in these kind of things? He's like, yeah, I mean, right here. And it's just like, I think he told me something like, oh, because I was doing all sorts of things, I was doing some kind of all sorts of like substance and drugs and I just happened to come here for some reason. I don't know why I'm here. Kind of like, I just happened to be here. It's like, I'm like, okay, whatever. And I just told him, because at that time, in that period as well, I was like really into like astral projection and everything.
Okay.
And so I've kind of told him like, you know, well, I'm technically kind of like into this kind of like alternative spirituality. I'm more. I told him like I'm more of a type where I want to experience things rather than what people tell me to believe what has been written or like you know what's been said and whatnot. And it's like oh yeah, and I think we kind of like resonated with that idea as well. We kind of like bounced off from that kind of idea then because I think both of us were that kind of type where we were actually we were not satisfied with just listening to
you just want to experience
yeah exactly
something.
so we were more experimental kind of guys so it was like oh yeah and then after that I saw him you know, like occasionally in that talks and like in different courses in that kind of temple and everything. But what made me keep coming back to is like the Hare Krishna temple was like, you know, you get I think people who generally come there has some sort of like, you know, interest in alternative spirituality and everything. So you get all sorts of people who come there just to like, you know, meet and chat and everything. So it was just a good meeting point for people who have a different kind of like concept and everything. And yeah, I kept, you know, occasionally I kept meeting him and we were just like talking things like, you know, and whatnot. And I think I think he said, because at that time that guy, I think he still is now, but like he's he I think he doesn't own he doesn't rent a place or something.
Okay.
So
he was living in a squat or something.
He's a squatter basically.
Okay.
So everything and
I guess he knows everything about like
yeah. Exactly, and you know, I think one time he said, "Oh, you know, man, shit, I can't, you know, go back to the place I'm squatting and everything. I'm out of place to stay and whatnot." And so I just told him, "Oh, well, why don't you stay in my place, kind of thing, for a while," and you know, and he said, "Okay," and let me kind of thing, and I kind of like invited him to like stay.
You invited to your place or your brother's place?
Well, my brother's / my place.
Okay.
Because I was paying for the rent as well. So,
oh yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't just switching off that. But so, and of course I asked my brother about it. And he said he's fine, kind of thing. And so he's good.
So what did you prepare for like doing this thing? Like how many people were there? And I remember like you use a candle, you switched off the every like artificial lights or
yeah.
like
So after he kind of like crashed into our place basically for about roughly around 3 weeks, I think.
3 weeks?
Yeah, 2-3 weeks.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, he wasn't all there.
Okay.
He wasn't there all day kind of thing, but he was just there having a place to stay kind of thing. So I think he went out during the day in different places and everything.
And he came back,
to sleep and everything.
So you guys like your brother and him and you were like stay like three of you like stay in that room.
Yeah.
Okay. For a few weeks.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, because everyone is doing like different things. Everyone comes back in different times.
Okay.
So we didn't like get to see and talk to each other that much actually. Even for we so occasionally like in a weekend kind of thing, maybe we had time to like discuss and talk about things and everything. But so well, that's about it. And then like at one point, that's where he kind of like I think he wanted to. No, after that, he was staying for 3 weeks.
Okay.
Then he basically found another place to kind of like stay, so he just moved on kind of thing. But after that, I mean, we still kept in contact and then he told me that he went to South America and
All
doing
this stuff.
ayahuasca retreat and everything. I was like, oh, that's quite interesting.
Okay.
So yeah, tell me what kind of thing. Then.
So like when you did this thing, like what did you prepare? Like you did like exactly same thing as like last time you told me about. You
Peyote?
like doing a drumming or like you doing chanting for like 9 hours until like 6 a.m. or something like this.
But for this ayahuasca thing, because he brought back the ayahuasca with him, and it was like, maybe if you can cleanse, have a diet of like just like water and fruit for 3 days, and you cleanse yourself and you do it kind of thing. Yeah, I did that, and it's like, okay, let's do it. Then on one.
So how many people were there?
Yeah. So I think there was about 1, 2, 3. I mean, 5 to 6 people.
You met like all of them in a temple. Or you knew them,
I knew one guy.
but the rest you didn't know.
The rest of them, which is, I think it was part of the squad gang, who was just interested in spiritual thing,
Okay.
and they just came, like,
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, they were actually quite nice people.
Okay,
and they
all
were
right.
like, came, I think they knew about that. So we just like came and like, so basically we just sat in the apartment room, and like, at the middle of our apartment room we just like, I remember correctly, we just lighted a candle in the middle.
Okay.
And we just
Just like one or two, or just a big, like huge candle, or
just
just like
just like a
the
big,
thick one.
big
Okay.
ones. Like I think we just like lighted like one or two of them
Okay.
in the middle, and it's like, we were just like gathered around it, and we had other candles around the room, and it was like, lighting it, and we're having that. It was like, okay, then we can start drumming, and then my
Drumming. Okay, the guy like had like a drumming.
I think he had like a small drum, or like a, this like Native American, like a feather kind of like what do you call it? Oh, he had that kind of like what do you call it?
Like a dindin daiko kind of thing, small one.
But it's more like, the one that you shake, the shaker. I think that's what it's called. I'm not sure, but yeah, that one where you shake and makes a sound, like.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. There was one with a feather on it, and so I think it was like a kind of traditional kind of like a shaker.
All right.
You used for, like trance work and shamanic.
Okay.
Like,
how long he did it? Like,
yeah.
He did it like not like last time, like 9 hours. Or
so
something.
I think he was like, basically, he was shaking that for about 5 minutes, and he was like, okay, then we can all start, taking it, and then I think he gave each one of us had like a small cup, right?
Okay.
Then he poured like the ayahuasca,
just a little, a tiny bit.
Liquid in it. Well, like a shot glass kind of thing.
Okay, yeah.
So around that, which is like, you pour that liquid in it, and it's like, so we're gonna start the ceremony now. So I think we can all join in, like, we can start. Okay. Then it was like, okay, let's have a trip kind of thing. Then we kind of like, we all drank it at the same time.
I got a shot. Yay!
Yeah.
Like this.
And it was like, and so I mean, with these kind of like medicinal plants kind of thing, it doesn't immediately hit you. You get it, because it usually takes a bit of a time and everything. From then we just like started to like do singing and chanting and that kind of thing, and yeah, so we're doing that for about half an hour to 40 minutes. Then I think some of us started to feel the effect.
Okay.
Of the ayahuasca substance. Then yeah, some of them are pretty like apparently, I think some find it quite intense with that thing. But
Like what he was like, how did he start acting like? What, like just like.
I think some of them started to act quite delirious. Yeah. So. So they were not kind of like in their own place and like they're trying to focus on to their own space and reality and everything. Well, I remember for my case it was more like, oh, I'm getting really exhausted and tired kind of thing. It felt like it kind of consumed a lot of like energy and power when I was like participating in that ayahuasca thing. Then I was doing that, and I think I think for 2-3 hours later, I think people were just starting to become really like like kind of exhausted and like slumbering. So people just started to like lie on the backside there, and then I think he told me like it's okay to actually lie down when you're doing this ritual as well, because part of it is to experience the whole kind of vision experience as well.
How about you? What did you experience? That you saw the vision or like...
For my case, it wasn't as, because this is my first time, so it wasn't as like intense as one would expect when we're talking about ayahuasca experiences. But for some people, they're like, it's quite intense, because I think my friend told me that you actually need to do about 3 or 4 times to actually the full experience kind of thing. So that was my first time, so I wasn't kind of like accustomed to this whole experience and everything. And for my case, I kind of saw a vision of like a snake.
Okay.
Rising. It was more like there's like a Mayan kind of like snake.
Yes. Yeah.
You know that distinctive kind of like a design and everything. I saw that kind of thing rising and descending and everything, those kind of thing. I was like, whoa, that's pretty interesting kind of thing. And so doing that kind of thing, and it was kind of like that was kind of like an all night thing as well. But I think some of us just slept on the ritual because everyone was like having a different kind of experience and like different intensity and everything. And my friend was just going around doing the whole shaking the shaker and everything, and trying to get the ritual going and everything. But I think at one point we all just slept and everything. Man, I can't even remember what happened, because like in the morning I think.
So what time you started and you realized like you woke up in the morning, right? What time you started to do this?
Yeah. I think at one point I mean, because there were like 5-6 people including my friend, right?
Yeah. So
there were about other 4 people who never been there. I think it was just one guy I knew from the temple gathering and everything. He was and I think in the morning they left around 5 a.m. or something like that.
They left? Okay.
Yeah, they left their apartment because instead they had their own stuff going on, so they just went in there and they just left me and my friend there. And I'm thinking, well, the problem is, right, because we had candles all around.
Yeah.
And yes, the other, I mean most participants, because we need to understand we are on that kind of trance state, like delirious and like doing different things. So I think they just left the candle lit. And then they left, and we were just like completely out and like just sleeping and everything. And then at one point, I kind of like, I think it was like 6 to 7. I think it was close to 7 a.m. in the morning. I just woke up because I felt there was something very heavy around me. I was like, what is going on here? And I was like, what the fuck? There's all this like grey smoke all around me. I was like, what the fuck? Whoa, what's happening here? And I was just like, went around. Then I saw a small fire starting at the corner of my room. I was like, what the fuck is going on here? I was like, then I just woke up. My friend, oh, dude, there's a fire going on here. It was like, he just woke up and he was like, oh, okay. And he just like, he got he got one of the like cushion, the mattress, and he just like, just got rid of the fire, and just banged it and got rid of the fire. It's like, oh no, it's gone, it's fine. Then he just went back to sleep. I was like, what what's going on? Because after that, I was really tired as well, so I just kind of like closed my eyes for a bit, and I was like, whatever. And, then I think I slept for over about half an hour, 1 hour, and then just woke up and just like.
But there's still smoke and heat in the room, like.
No, I mean, of course, when we got rid of that fire, there's no smoke and everything. I think that we opened the window as well, so we got rid of the smoke and everything. But it was just like, because we were, trust me, we were really exhausted of that ritual and ceremony we had, so we were kind of like, okay, we just need to rest a bit, kind of thing. Of course, I was more kind of like concerned about what happened, I think, but my friend was not that phased about it, so he was so
calm,
he was so relaxed about it. I was like, oh yeah, just get rid of it. It's like, and then after that, half an hour, 1 hour, I just woke up and it's like, okay, let me check what actually happened, and I just went there. And it was like, because we had our shoes next to the place where the fire started.
Yeah.
The day before, I just actually bought a brand new shoe.
It was half burnt.
Yeah. And literally, my brand new shoes was burned to crisp. Like, literally into ashes. Like, I'm not kidding you. And the other shoes, my other shoes was like partly burned. Like, I think 1/3 of it was burned, and I think one of my friend's shoe was kind of like burned as well, but not too bad and everything. And I was like, what the fuck happened, dude? How can a shoes burn to a crisp? Like, what on earth could have made that happen? It was so bizarre, because, okay, we had we knew that because we had the candle going on and everything. But even then, like, how long would it need for fire to take that shoes to burn to that level? They get it, like, it would have at least took half an hour more to get it for it to burn into an ash. To get it, how long was it burning for to get it? And it was so bizarre, and I was like, and I think my brother came back.
What
later.
time he came back?
I can't remember. I think he
like
came back around like 10 o'clock in the morning. Or something.
Okay.
I think because he
was staying at somebody's house.
I think stay over in one of his like friend's house. Or something. Then he came back and I was like, dude, what the fuck happened? It's like, looking at that, I was like, then I just told him what happened. It's just like, I just told him, like, yeah, my shoes got burned. He was like, yeah, I think he found that really amusing, and he's like started laughing about it. And then I think because the owner of the house was living in that house as well, and then I think of course my brother needed to show what happened and everything. Then he showed it to the owner, and the owner, I think, couldn't contain his laugh as well.
Oh, really?
So
Okay.
he found it kind of like so ridiculous that happened. So it was like, you know, but the damage is like mainly the
Your
shoes,
shoes, like-
my shoes and part of the flooring and like the carpet was kind of like burned
Yes.
a bit,
Yeah.
but it wasn't like half of the room was burned kind of thing.
Actually, I saw it, so I know that.
Yeah,
It's just
know.
like kind of burned, but your like shoes when it.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't think it was as severe as like some make it to be, but it was kind of like weird that actually happened to get it. But my friend later on was like, oh yeah, it just happened that that time when we were doing ceremony, because in that ceremony I was actually invoking the spirit of fire, basically.
Oh.
So he said probably he could have like that fire spirit wanted to consume something for an offering, and so maybe he went for our shoes kind of thing. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, yeah, whatever, like listen to that, but it was kind of like really strange that happened, but yeah.
So
That's
your
the
experience from ayahuasca, you brought the fire spirits and you
Yeah.
burn your shoes and crisp, and
Yeah,
maybe like don't
exactly.
rely on like this I don't know, shoes or commercial thing. I don't know.
Yeah,
Could be a
I know
message
what
like
they mean.
that.
I've never really thought about the incident too deeply because you had that kind of experience and you do it and like that kind of thing happens. I think that's kind of like it was just part of the whole experience of the ritual basically. Now I think of it, I guess it was. I take it as more like an offering I gave to my spirit unintentionally to the spirit
Okay, yeah.
that resided there, probably. I don't know, but I'm not. Okay, maybe it's just my shoes are bought and they're burned kind of thing. It sucks, but it's not the end of the world. So I'm not like,
I have one question. Like
Yeah.
when I came back to, your brother's house, then they told me, the owner told me about this story, and your brother also told me about this story. I heard like you turn off all the lights and you put all the candle. You even like turn off all the buildings of lights. What's that supposed to mean? What's that mean?
I haven't got the full explanation because I think
Okay.
because my friend was like, operating the
Yeah.
whole ritual because he knew I think he knew what he was doing and everything. So, but I think looking back to it from what I know now, I think it was more to do with like having
fire spirit.
having all this artificial light, kind of like diminished or like turned off, kind of makes the whole experience more potent, I think.
I think so. Yes.
Yeah. And from what I know as well, like spirits tend to manifest easier in dark places. So we all know that when it's night and darkness kind of thing, we all kind of feel that presence and
Makes
whatnot.
sense. Yes.
Do you get it? Because it's been noted that even like kind of like stories that folklore stories and spirits or like beings tend to manifest much easier in nighttime. Spirits are more active during night than the daytime. So maybe it had to do with something like that. I'm not too, but that's the kind of like gist I got from what he was doing and was doing this.
Okay.
And I do tend to agree because when you do kind of ritual, it does make sense to have things because I remember there was like someone telling me when doing rituals like they do it in complete darkness, and like they have this one
candlelight.
like a torch to light the darkness and everything, and and there was like one like guy was asking, well, why do you do that? Because some rituals they do it in complete darkness kind of thing. Why then it's like then this that guy or this person who were actually like doing the ritual told that guy was like, actually in our tradition or like in a group we believe that having a one light in middle of pitch black actually intensifies the whole kind of like experience in the darkness. You get it? Because the light casts another shadow in the night as well, so it kind of like materialize things more vividly. You get it? Through that kind of like light, darkness and everything. So it has that kind of component as well, and there's that kind of like shadow play going on as well. Like a lot of people don't realize that actually like the thing you see in like in shadows as well. Shadow has kind of like they believe that they have a spirit in shadow as well, and so it's some potency and like energy to it as well. So I think trying to kind of maximize that kind of like kind of effect does probably play into that kind of ritual as well. So that's just my kind of take on it.
Okay.
I was thinking,
All right. I think so. Next week, not next week. Well, next episode, we're trying to take the mushroom. Then we're gonna like kind of like do kind of similar, not similar, but we're trying to experience. Not with a candle, maybe. I don't know. Maybe not in the inside the room. Maybe outside.
Yeah.
We don't want to burn the house, so yeah. So yeah. In conclusion, when you take ayahuasca, make sure you put the candle off, okay? Otherwise, you burn your room. All right?
But then again, guys, anything could happen with these rituals. What spirits want, probably sometimes we can't give, so they take. So that's what we take around, So that's the conclusion for our experience of my ayahuasca experience. So see you guys.
See you next time.
Bye.